morning, kids. What time is it?
Daredevil Born Again, episode 7, seemed to go by very fast. It was like by far the quickest episode that I've experienced so far in this season. When I first watched it, it was very late at night. It was past midnight, so I assumed at some point I was just going to fall asleep while it was on. But no, it held my attention throughout, and I was actually kind of taken aback that when it ended, because it seemed to go by so quickly, which is a good sign. This was very streamlined, very focused on the main storylines of the season, very focused on main characters, and when it opens up right after the end of the last episode where Matt rescues Angela from Muse, so he goes back to Muse's lair to find out more about him, is able to, with his enhanced sense of touch, runs over the sketches they have, and he discovers that Muse has a lot of sketches of Heather, Matt's girlfriend, and he surmises, of course, that Muse is somewhat obsessed with her, and he worries immediately that something's going to go on with him and her, so like that she's going to be in danger. So he heads out to look for her. Also, at the same time, Angela lets the police know where the lair is, and immediately Fisk appoints his newly made task force from the police. That's his main thing. He wants them to handle it. He wants them to hunt down all mass vigilantes, and they're right on the case. So they also go down to the lair and see the sketches of Heather, and start heading towards her office right about the same time that Daredevil does. And then while this is going on, Heather's having a therapy session with a young man named Bastian, I believe. We met him earlier in the series when when he went to her book signing, and at that moment he asked her if she was able to fit him in terms of therapy sessions. So we don't really see a lot of that, but supposedly behind the scenes that he's been kind of coming to therapy with her for a while now, and in this particular therapy session quickly escalates into him pretty much just admitting that he's the serial killer named Muse. As a matter of fact, he takes her, ties her up, knocks her out for a while. While he's there, he actually switches into his Muse costume, and obviously he's planning on killing her. I mean, he's not gonna let her see him who he really is without killing her. He's obviously this was going to be the end of the therapy for him, and he was going to kill her. But before he does that, of course, we have Matt's on his way, and he gets there just in time before Muse is able to carry out the killing, and they get into this brutal fight. It's a really good choreographed fight, much similar to episode 6, but obviously in a different setting. But Matt clearly has the advantage. Muse puts up a pretty good fight, but Matt is clearly taking care of him. But it keeps going on for a good while, and then when Muse is clear of Daredevil, Heather picks up this gun that's there. So the gun came from Muse. He actually brought it with him, which is kind of a little, strange. He's never had any kind of he's been a serial killer all this time. He's never been in any. No one's ever tied guns, or you ever see him use a gun on any of his victims. So why he brought a gun to see Dr. Glenn, or actually Heather, I'm not sure. It seems to me like an excuse just to have the gun laying around so she could pick it up and kill him, because we know Daredevil wasn't going to kill him. He was just going to try his best to just knock him out and just keep him alive. So as the fight is going on, he gets clear of they get clear of each other. She picks up the gun that's sitting there on the floor, and shoots him, and kills Muse. It seems rather abrupt that we just literally only got a very substantial episode on the last episode about Muse, and now he's pretty supposedly he's just gone. He's killed, and it seems strange that I thought that Muse was going to be kind of like the main antagonist of this series, and and he's already dead, and so kind of overestimated his importance. That's the only kind of downside to this episode, is that, or to the series in general, is that they set up this serial killer that was going to kind of be a big villain of it, but then they never portray him as in the comic books with his enhanced abilities or anything like that, and now it looks like that's it for him, and we're going to continue on with the series without him. And right after the fight, right after this fight, and Heather kills him, and Matt makes sure that Heather is okay, he's not in any dire danger, and he notices that the police task force sent by Fisk is about to get there. They're on their way up to the office, so he goes out the window just in time, and they get there. They don't really do anything. They just see the scene that, Muse is dead, Daredevil's gone, and as is typical of Fisk, what he does is he has a press conference, basically giving himself and his task force, and at the same time him, the credit for taking down this serial killer, even though they didn't do anything. But that's going to be his thing, where he's going to be using this task force to hunt down all the other masked vigilantes. So gets full credit of it. Tells in the press conference, I was elected with the promise that I was going to get rid of these masked vigilantes, and here it is. Here's an example of me doing it. Also, I forgot to say that during the fight, Heather looks up at Muse and says something like, only a coward wears masks, which seems to be kind of like a precursor to perhaps her having a conflict with Matt at some point, when inevitably she finds out that he's Daredevil. So well, maybe we have that looking forward to that. And that's it. There you have it. It's a very, very quick episode. Seems to just go boom, boom, boom. Just it's almost too quick in terms of kind of the end of Muse at this point. So I honestly don't know. It's only 2 more episodes left. I honestly don't know what other direction they might go in, except for the fact that Fisk is going to. He obviously knows Matt has taken up his Daredevil persona again, and despite the fact that earlier in the season he said he wasn't going to do it, so that's gonna incense him, and he's the only thing I can see the rest of the series is the fact that Fisk is going to have his task force go after Matt, and he knows that Matt is Daredevil. So, and there's whatever other costume vigilantes are in the city, that's going to be his main thing, just trying to get rid of them. So we'll see what happens. Definitely a very, very quick episode, very decisive in how they get rid of this villain, so to speak, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'll give this episode a solid 8. Like I said, the only kind of disappointing thing about it was the way they just get rid of this Muse character that never really seemed to get off the ground in terms of like a significant character. Definitely was not portrayed like in the comic books, which was a much bigger threat to Daredevil. So, but it wasn't to be. So we'll see where it goes from there. I'll look forward to the last 2 episodes, and leave me a comment on what you think so far of the series, what you think of this episode, where it might go from here, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.